Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. Monday Night Raw tonight was from the PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina, and we are 19 days away from WrestleMania, in Philly, which I will be there for both nights, which I'm really looking forward to being at my very first WrestleMania. Monday Night Raw tonight, I thought it was a decent show. I thought this show was much better than last week's horrible, show. But tonight we had the WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Qualifying matches. The teams who will be in the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Of course, you have Balor and Damian Priest, in it. But we had DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. They ended up taking on the Creed brothers. We also had Candice, LeRae, and Indi Hartwell. They ended up taking on Katana Chance and Kayden Carter. We had Ricochet in action. He ended up taking on Dominik Mysterio. We had AwesomeTruth, The Miz and R-Truth versus Indus Share. This was Sanga and Veer. This was a WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Qualifying match. We also had the New Day, Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, ended up taking on the Alpha Academy, Otis and Akira Tozawa. Also a WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Qualifying match. And the main event, which I can't believe this main evented. We got Becky Lynch versus NIA JAX in a last woman standing match. A match that nobody asked for. And a match that nobody, was looking forward to seeing. But overall, Monday Night Raw was a decent show tonight. But anyways, let's jump right into the review. Monday Night Raw open up tonight with Mr. Yeet, Jey Uso. Jey Uso came out, got a big pop from the crowd there in Raleigh. Everybody was doing the Jey Uso. So Jey ended up getting into the ring, and he got on the mic. He welcomed everyone to Monday Night Raw. He wanted to say that he knows the Bloodline are in the building and how they roll. So Jey ended up calling out his brother, Jimmy. He was saying, "Where is he at?" So then we saw Jimmy and also Sikoa end up walking through the crowd. Both of them jumped the barricade and they got into the ring. And I forgot to mention Michael Cole on commentary. I like that how, he mentioned, first it was Brett and Owen. The awesome feud that was between, both of them, the brothers, Bret Hart and the late, great, Owen Hart. And then Michael Cole ended up mentioning that after that, it was Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, which I'm shocked that he mentioned that because we all know both of the Hardys are in AEW. And he ended up saying, now, for only the third time, we will get a brother against brother match. So meaning Jey and Jimmy. So we had a yeet chant ring out from the crowd. Jimmy and Jey were face to face in the middle of the ring. Jey ended up telling Jimmy that this feels a little different. He ended up telling Jimmy, regardless of the bad blood, he misses Jimmy. So Jey ended up telling Jimmy that he doesn't talk to him, ride with him, or see him anymore. He then ended up telling Jimmy to come back to him. To which Jimmy ended up telling Jey that he never left him and that he was protecting Jey. He ended up telling Jey that it was his idea, it was Jey's idea to leave the Bloodline, and he helped him because he is his brother. So Jimmy ended up saying that Jey leaves And then he goes on to become the biggest superstar on the Raw roster. And that he's the top merchandise seller and becoming tag team champions without him. So Jimmy ended up telling Jay that he forgot him. And everything Jay accomplished is because of himself, because of Jimmy himself. So Jimmy then ended up thanking, Cody Rhodes, for that, becoming tag team champions, without him. So then Jimmy ended up telling Jay that the biggest moment of his career is because of him. Jay then ended up telling Jimmy that the biggest moment of his career is going to be his dream match at WrestleMania. Him against Jimmy when he knocks the yeet off his ass. So Jay then ended up hitting Jimmy with a right hand. So Sikoa got on the ring apron and Jay knocked Sikoa down. Jimmy then ended up hitting Jay with a super kick. In came Sol Sikoa. Sol Sikoa ended up holding Jay up. Jimmy then ended up grabbing Jay, and out came Cody Rhodes. Jimmy then left the ring, and Cody ended up knocking Jimmy down. Cody then got into the ring. Sol Sikoa ended up going for a right hand to Cody. Cody ended up ducking, and Cody then ended up hitting the Cody Cutter to Sikoa. So Sikoa and Jimmy were on the outside of the ring. Cody then checked in on Jay, and pretty much that was basically how the segment ended. But overall, I really liked this segment here with the Uso brothers. Little hype going into their match at WrestleMania. So I like how Jay and Jimmy were both in the ring together, face to face. They're gonna put on one hell of a match at WrestleMania. It's been a long time since we've seen a brother versus brother in a matchup. So, really looking forward to it. And then as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we saw Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce was backstage. He was talking on the phone, I guess to maybe Nick Aldis. And Paul Heyman came up to Adam Pearce. Paul Heyman ended up apologizing to Adam Pearce. He ended up telling Pearce that that was not authorized by the final boss, The Rock, or the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman ended up telling Pearce that there have been flight delays all day. Even a private plane like his was delayed. So he ended up telling Pearce that both Sikoa and Jimmy are already gone for the night, and that he has Roman's word. So then Paul Heyman ended up telling Pearce that he is here on official business, and he will be gone. He ended up saying, but when he does his official business, everyone is going to get off guard. So Paul Heyman ended up telling Pearce that that is not a prediction. That's a spoiler. So Paul Heyman then walked away, and he ended up calling, "Call Roman Reigns." So pretty much that was that. And then we had the first match of the night. DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa versus the Creed brothers. Brutus and Julius Creed. And this was a very good match here. And this was a WrestleMania 40 tag team qualifying match where the winners go to WrestleMania to be in the six-pack ladder match. And the Creed brothers have not been on TV for a while. I don't know why. The Creed brothers should be on TV. They are very good in the ring. The last time the Creed brothers were in the ring, they got the crowd, just hyped up to see them. They were getting over the Creed brothers a little bit. But now, since WWE took them off TV for a while, I kind of felt like the Creed brothers, from watching this match tonight, with DIY, I felt like their momentum just dwindled a little bit. Because the crowd didn't even, cheer for the Creed brothers. So them being off TV kind of dwindled their momentum a little bit. And the Creed should be on TV. They are very good. I guess, they were off TV because WWE didn't have any plans for them. But it's time to start pushing back the Creed brothers. So the match got underway. Ciampa and Julius Creed started off the match. And both guys ended up delivering takedowns to each other. Julius locked in a headlock on Ciampa, but Ciampa ended up getting to his feet. So Julius ended up taking down Ciampa. He ended up getting an ankle lock on Ciampa. Ciampa then reached to the ropes, and he rolled to the outside. Ciampa then got back into the ring, and we had Julius deliver a fireman's carry to Ciampa. Bruce ended up tagging in. Ciampa went to the ropes. Gargano ended up taking himself in, and both Gargano and Ciampa ended up double teaming on Brutus. So Brutus ended up rolling to the outside. Ciampa and Gargano ended up jumping over the top rope onto both the Creed brothers. Of course, they did their signature, that. So then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Ciampa and Brutus were in the ring. Bruce ended up throwing Ciampa across the ring. He rolled Ciampa up. Gargano ended up running toward Brutus, but Brutus ended up delivering a Northern Lights suplex cover to both Gargano and Ciampa. Nice spot there. And both Ciampa and Gargano ended up kicking out. Julius then ended up taking into the ring. He ended up getting Ciampa into a vertical suplex. Then Bruce and Gargano got into the ring. Bruce picked up Gargano, and Bruce delivered a vertical suplex. So both of the Creed brothers delivered vertical suplexes to Ciampa and Gargano. The Creed brothers then delivered standing moonsaults. Julius ended up going for the cover, and Ciampa kicked out. Bruce ended up tagging in. So both of the Creed brothers ended up going for the Bruce ball, but Gargano ended up pulling Ciampa down. So all four guys were in the ring. Bruce then ended up hitting Gargano with a running knee, and Gargano ended up falling to the outside. Julius then ended up pushing Ciampa over the commentary table, and then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Ciampa and Julius were in the ring. Ciampa delivered a reverse DDT to Julius, and then Gargano ended up tagging in. Gargano then delivered a flying boot to Julius's face. Bruce got into the ring. Gargano ended up delivering a running knee to Bruce's face. Gargano was now on the ring apron. He ended up delivering a kick to the side of Julius's head. Gargano ended up delivering a slingshot spear to Julius. He ended up going for the cover, and Julius ended up kicking out. So Gargano delivered a chop to Julius's chest. He ended up placing Julius on the top rope. Ciampa was then tagged in. Gargano then delivered a suicide dive onto Brutus. Ciampa then climbed the second rope, and he ended up getting Julius onto his shoulders, and he ended up hitting Julius with the white noise. So Ciampa ended up going for the cover, and Julius ended up kicking out. Ciampa then delivered some chops to Julius's chest, but Julius came back, delivered some right hands to Ciampa. So Julius ended up pinning a spear to Ciampa, and he locked in the ankle lock. Gargano ended up getting to the ring. Julius ended up hitting him with a powerbomb. Julius then ended up getting Ciampa back into the ankle lock, and Bruce ended up getting Gargano in the ankle lock. So both Ciampa and Gargano were in the ankle lock by the Creed brothers. DIY ended up both reversing the ankle locks into crossfaces on the Creed brothers. So the Creed brothers end up getting out of the crossfaces. They end up getting Gargano and Ciampa on their shoulders, and they end up throwing Ciampa into Gargano in the air. Bruce ended up tagging in. Julius delivered a moonsault onto Ciampa, and Bruce delivered a moonsault. So we had Brutus end up going for the cover, and Ciampa kicked out. Julius then picked Ciampa up. Brutus climbed the top rope. He jumped and Ciampa ducked. Gargano delivered a kick onto Brutus, and that led to Ciampa rolling Brutus up. And so there you go. DIY ended up winning the match. They're going into the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team titles. But overall, very good match this was. Very entertaining. Both DIY and the Creed brothers, both delivered in this match. And let's start having the Creed brothers on TV a lot more. Do something with them. Find plans for the Creed brothers. They should not be in catering or for TV. You got to find something for them because they're very good in the ring. Start to get the Creed brothers momentum back and have the fans, behind the Creed brothers before they were taken off TV. And then we went backstage. We saw Dominik Mysterio. He was alongside with Rhea Ripley and with Andrade. Dominik ended up telling Andrade that he likes his style, but things have changed. So Rhea ended up telling him that the Judgment Day is an exclusive club. So JD McDonough ended up telling him very exclusive. So Balor ended up telling Andrade. Balor was wearing a bucket hat. I don't know what the hell was up with that. We got like Smiley Finn back for one night. He was smiling while wearing that bucket hat. Was this going to be a new thing where Balor's just going to be wearing a bucket hat every week? What about take notes from Jake Hager? When Jake Hager wore the purple bucket hat? So Balor ended up telling Andrade that he heard that he has a match next week, and he will be watching. Andrade then turned around, and Damian Priest stepped up to Andrade. Priest ended up calling Andrade Idolo, and Andrade ended up calling Priest Dinejo, and he ended up leaving. Priest ended up telling McDonough that they thought that he was going to handle Ricochet and go to WrestleMania, but McDonough didn't. McDonough ended up telling them that he battered Ricochet, and he got lucky. So Rhea Ripley ended up telling McDonough that he was made to look like a fool, and that is why Dominik will make things right against Ricochet. So Dominik ended up telling McDonough to go with him to talk to Adam Pearce and make the match official. So that was basically that. Of course, we got the match later on in the night. And then it was revealed that, the newest inductee into the 2024 Hall of Fame would be Thunderbolt Patterson. He was way before my time. Don't know a lot about Thunderbolt Patterson. So he's joined Bull Nakano, U.S. Express, Paul Heyman, and Muhammad Ali in the 2024 Hall of Fame. And then we had Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae versus Katana Chance and Kayden Carter. This was boring. Absolutely boring. Did not even care about this. So, match on the way. Katana Chance was in the ring with Indi Hartwell. Katana Chance ended up landing on her feet, and she appeared to tweak her ankle. Chance's ankle, was injured. So we had the ref end up checking on Katana Chance in the corner. Kayden Carter ended up checking on her on the outside of the ring. Candice LeRae ended up taking herself in. She had baseball sliding Kayden on the outside. She then ended up grabbing Katana Chance's leg and slammed it into the ring post. She then got Katana Chance into a half crab. Katana Chance ended up tapping out. So there you go. Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell ended up win the match. But Candice LeRae, she's, a heel here, after what we saw last week where she was bad-mouthing Maxine Dupree, saying, oh, you know why these fans are booing you? They don't like you. So now Candice LeRae this week, she ended up, taking Katana Chance's leg, slamming it into the ring post, and locking in the half crab. So, we'd like to see where this leads up to with Candice LeRae, as a heel. But overall, this match was boring. Did not even care for it. And then, as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes ended up coming out, and he got into the ring. He ended up saying that at WrestleMania, he will challenge for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against the greatest champion in all of sports, Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Cody ended up saying that on Friday on SmackDown. Him and Roman will have a conversation, but there are complications, factors, elements, combustible elements, namely The Rock. So Cody ended up saying that The Rock took to Instagram and followed it with a rock concert last week on SmackDown. He ended up saying something he took from his Instagram post. The Rock referred to himself as our favorite heel. He ended up saying that means he is the bad guy, and that he has known some heels. Bobby the Brain Heenan, Arn Anderson, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. He ended up saying that he doesn't think The Rock is a heel. He ended up saying that he thinks The Rock is an asshole. He ended up saying that he doesn't want The Rock or the 7 Bucks team to get angry. He ended up saying that The Rock told him not to cry, but The Rock has been crying behind the scenes this whole time. That's like, Cody's saying, The Rock told him not to cry, but The Rock has been crying behind the scenes. Cody, didn't you cry last week in your promo? Yeah, Cody was crying last week. So, he ended up saying, once they started chanting something else, The Rock went and cried to his friends at the TKO board, telling them that WWE needed saving, and had a great PR for The Rock, until it wasn't. Cody ended up saying that the guys at TKO told him yes, and the reason why is because they are yes people, and that they don't tell him like it is, but he will. Cody ended up saying that The Rock is a lot of wonderful things, the Brahma Bull, the Great One. He ended up saying that he is the only person he will get in the ring with, and say he is a Mount Rushmore wrestler. He ended up saying, but he is a whiny bitch. He ended up saying no one is bigger than the business, and that The Rock brought up his mother. But Cody ended up saying that he knows The Rock's mom. So Cody ended up saying that The Rock's mom is a wonderful lady, and that he has nothing but respect for her. He ended up saying that The Rock was talking about whipping him and handing it to his mother. He ended up saying that normally she would tremble in front of someone like The Rock, but she is not scared of him. So he ended up saying that this is the same lady that beat up an undercover cop at a Willie Nelson concert. So Cody ended up saying that Seth helps carry The Rock's company. Cody then talked about the match at WrestleMania, saying that he doesn't know if it will be a fair fight. He ended up saying that he doesn't know if he will finish the story. But what does The Rock know? How can he be so sure? Cody ended up saying that The Rock has not been in the ring in years, and on April 6th, the bell will ring. He ended up saying that, is he going to bring the Great One, or is it just going to be Little Dick Syndrome? Of course, we had Cody swear in this segment because of the backlash, because, why can't we use this language but The Rock could? So, this was all done, because of that. So great, we had Seth Rollins calling The Rock Diarrhea Dwayne. Now we have Cody Rhodes saying to The Rock, is he just going to be known as Little Dick Syndrome? So we got diarrhea, Dwayne from Seth Rollins. Now we got Little Dick Syndrome from Cody. So Cody ended up saying that The Rock called himself the final boss. But at WrestleMania, he doesn't think he will be the final boss. And that he is just going to be Roman's side chick. So then we hear, ladies and gentlemen, out came Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman ended up telling Cody that Cody must hate it when someone comes out and demands an apology. So Paul Heyman ended up saying that he came out a few weeks ago with friends from the NYPD, and he apologizes for it. He ended up saying that was stupid on his behalf, because the plan didn't work and it was just dumb. So he apologized for that. So Paul Heyman then got into the ring. Cody ended up telling Paul Heyman that he didn't ask for an apology, and he knows Paul Heyman will ask for permission to get in the ring. You know what I'm saying? But Paul Heyman is a Hall of Famer. If he wants to get into the ring, be his guest. So Paul Heyman ended up thanking Cody, and that he is fine on the ring apron. So Paul Heyman was just standing on the ring apron. Paul Heyman ended up saying that he carries with him a message from the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So he ended up saying that he can think of him as someone that he cannot trust, but Roman is someone of his word. He ended up saying this Friday on SmackDown, Roman will go face to face with Cody, challenger and champion. And when they go face to face, there will not be a single other member of the bloodline inside, except for him, and he is no physical threat. So Paul Heyman ended up saying that if Cody shows up on SmackDown, Roman Reigns will show up alone. So Cody then ended up telling Paul Heyman that Roman shows up alone, no bloodline, except for Paul Heyman. And that is a deal. So Paul Heyman ended up telling Cody that he forgot one little crucial point. So the fans started booing Paul Heyman. He's like, oh, don't you ooh at me. So Cody then ended up telling Paul Heyman that the crowd are booing him, but he is about to rip his throat out and to get to the point. Paul Heyman ended up telling Cody that if Roman shows up alone on SmackDown, Cody must show up to SmackDown alone too. Cody then walked toward Paul Heyman. He ended up telling Paul Heyman, deal. Cody then extended his hand. Both Cody and Heyman ended up shaking hands. Cody's music ended up hitting. Paul Heyman walked down the ring steps, and that was that. But overall, this was a good segment with Cody Rhodes here. I thought it was a lot better than, last week, with his promo where he was just crying. So you saw that aggression on Cody during this promo here. And then we had Nia Jax. Nia Jax cut a promo. She was talking about how she will be the last woman standing. And she's going to be taking Becky's spot at WrestleMania. So pretty much that was that. And then Cody Rhodes was shown walking backstage as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial. Cody then got stopped by Mr. Yeet, Jey Uso. Jey ended up telling Cody that he knows he isn't going to SmackDown alone. Cody ended up saying that he gave him his word. Jey ended up saying that he knows how the bloodline works. And if Cody needs him, he has his back. So both guys end up shaking hands. And that was pretty much that. And then we had Dominik Mysterio versus Ricochet. Dominik was accompanied by JD McDonough. And this was a decent match here. The match ended up starting off with Dominik delivers some right hands to Ricochet, but Ricochet delivers some right hands and a chop to Dominik's chest. Ricochet then delivered a springboard elbow onto Dominik. Dominik rolled to the outside. Ricochet delivered a corkscrew splash onto Dominik on the outside. So we had Ricochet end up grabbing Dominik and threw him back into the ring. Dominik distracted the ref as JD McDonough grabbed Ricochet, which Ricochet was on the ring apron here. Dominik ended up drop kicking Ricochet down, and then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Dominik was in control of the match. He delivered a face buster to Ricochet. He went for the cover, and Ricochet ended up kicking out. Dominik ended up going for the Three Amigos. He ended up landing the first suplex on Ricochet, but Ricochet ended up hitting Dominik with a suplex. So then Ricochet delivered a boot to Dominik's face. He ended up going for the cover, and Dominik ended up kicking out. So Ricochet ended up delivering a kick to Dominik's face. He climbed the top rope. Ricochet ended up going for the 450, to which Dominik then moved out of the way. Ricochet landed on his feet. He ended up kicking Dominik down. McDonough got on the ring apron, but Ricochet ended up kicking McDonough down. Dominik tripped Ricochet up onto the second rope. He ended up going for the 619. Ricochet moved out of the way, and Ricochet ended up hitting Dominik with the recoil. He ended up going for the cover, and there you go. Ricochet ended up winning the match. Post-match, McDonough got into the ring. He ended up running towards Ricochet, but Ricochet ended up leaving the ring. So pretty much that was basically that. Overall, decent match it was between Ricochet and Dominik here. And now we have Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was backstage, and he bumped into Chad Gable. Sami Zayn ended up telling Chad Gable that last week's match was an honor, and that he hasn't been pushed like that for a long time. Gable then cut Sami Zayn off. He ended up saying that it was great. Sami Zayn ended up asking Gable if he is fine. Gable ended up telling Sami Zayn that he is fine. Sami Zayn ended up saying to Gable that he has known him for a long time, and to say what is on his mind. Gable ended up telling Sami that last week meant more for him. Sami Zayn ended up saying that Gable has been saying that for weeks, and that it's unfair. He ended up saying that he has a family at home too. He ended up saying that his kid cries when he loses too, and that he has people he tries to make proud too. Sami then ended up asking Gable what this is all about, and Gable ended up telling Sami Zayn that he cannot beat Gunther. And pretty much that was that. But yeah, Chad Gable's making some sense here when he said that Sami Zayn cannot beat Gunther. I think that's how the way it's going to go at WrestleMania. You know, I'm fine with Sami Zayn facing Gunther at WrestleMania for the title, but it should have been Chad Gable. Chad Gable should have got his chance, going to WrestleMania. I mean, Sami Zayn had his WrestleMania moment. Chad Gable hasn't had a WrestleMania moment here. But Chad Gable will get his rematch against Gunther at some point. But, Chad Gable is going to be the one to, take down Gunther and become the new Intercontinental Champion whenever that happens. And then we saw Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce was standing in the ring for the contract signing for the Intercontinental Championship between Sami Zayn and Gunther. So out came Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn got into the ring. He ended up shaking Adam Pearce's hand. He ended up sitting on one of the chairs, there. Adam Pearce then introduced Gunther to the ring. Gunther came out. He ended up getting into the ring. He placed the Intercontinental Championship on the table, and Gunther remained standing. He did not sit down. Gunther ended up telling Adam Pearce, before they proceed, that this is the most prestigious contract signing in the history of the Intercontinental Championship. He ended up saying that Sami Zayn is dressed like one of the bums in the audience. Sami Zayn ended up telling Gunther that his smug smile is starting to piss him off. He ended up telling Gunther that he has beaten everyone that has come across his way. And Gunther ended up saying that he doesn't believe that Sami Zayn can do it. He kept saying that a lot of people didn't believe a lot of thends about him. The Usos didn't believe he would be the guy to end the longest tag team title reign of all time. He kept saying 1 year later, he will be the guy to end the longest reigning Intercontinental Championship reign of all time. So Sami Zayn then signed the contract. Fans were chanting for him. Gunther ended up telling Sami Zayn that he should listen to his new friend, Chad Gable, but he doesn't believe that he can beat him. So he ended up saying that the fans cheer him, but they don't believe that he can beat Gunther. So Gunther ended up saying that when he looks at Sami Zayn's eye, even Sami Zayn doesn't believe that he can beat him. Gunther ended up telling Sami Zayn that he is standing at his doorstep, begging him to get a beating at the grandest stage of them all. Gunther ended up saying that at WrestleMania, his dreams will meet reality. Gunther then signed the contract. He then stood up. So as Gunther was leaving the ring, Sami Zayn ended up telling Gunther to wait. He ended up telling Gunther that Gunther doesn't believe he can beat him. Sami Zayn then got into Gunther's face, and he ended up telling Gunther to look again, because he is looking at the man who will take him down at WrestleMania. So Sami Zayn, ended up leaving the ring, and I really liked the camera shots during this, where Sami Zayn went to the back, he headed to the back, went through Gorilla, went through, the backstage area. I really liked that. So Sami Zayn walked through DIY, Gargano and Ciampa, The Miz, and R-Truth. Miz ended up saying to Truth that this is the mindset that they need to be in. So in came Jinder Mahal and Indus, Veer and Sangha. So R-Truth ended up telling Miz that he feels sorry for whoever has to fight them. One of them was Harry, which that was funny. But overall, I thought the contract signing between Sami Zayn and Gunther, I thought was, pretty good. A contract signing that did not end in a brawl, because we all know how these contract signings always go. They sign the contract and a brawl ensues. Lucky enough, there was no brawl between Sami Zayn and Gunther, which was different. I liked how the way that was handled. No brawl. And then we had R-Truth and The Miz versus Indus, Veer and Sangha. This was, of course, WrestleMania 40 Tag Team Qualifying match, where the winners will go into the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania, joining Balor and Priest and DIY. And this was just a quick match here. We had Truth and Sangha start the match off. R-Truth ended up taking The Miz in as Sangha ended up flexing. Miz delivers some right hands. Sangha then delivered an elbow to Miz's face. Sangha picked The Miz up, and he tagged Veer in. So Sangha slammed The Miz. Veer then delivered a jumping elbow onto The Miz. Veer grabbed The Miz and threw him into the corner. Miz delivered a boot to Veer's face. He ended up tagging in R-Truth. We had R-Truth deliver a shoulder tackle onto Veer. He then slammed Veer down. Of course, R-Truth, does his childhood hero John Cena's moves. The "you can't see me." Landed the 5-knuckle shuffle on Veer. And he locked in the STF on Veer. Sangha broke up the STF. In came The Miz. So we had both Miz and R-Truth deliver a double drop kick onto Sangha. Miz delivered the Skull Crusher finale. Sangha threw Miz to the outside. So we had Miz end up grabbing Sangha. He ended up pinning R-Truth with a back elbow. Truth ended up falling backwards onto Veer. So Truth ended up going for the cover. And there you go. R-Truth and The Miz end up winning the match. They are going into the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania to join DIY and Balor and Priest. Overall, quick match it was. Obviously, AwesomeTruth were going to be included in the six-pack ladder match. In my opinion, they're going to be the ones to win the match at WrestleMania. And then we saw Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was backstage, and once again, he bumped into Chad Gable. Sami Zayn ended up asking Gable why he thinks he can't beat Gunther. To which Gable ended up telling Sami Zayn that it's not just physical, it's mental. So he ended up saying that Sami Zayn has that, but Gunther is on a different level. He ended up saying that there's no window of opportunity with Gunther, and that he is a different beast, a different animal. He ended up saying that if Sami Zayn doesn't change his mentality, he can't beat Gunther. So pretty much that was that. And then we had Pat McAfee and Michael Cole. They were talking about CM Punk's recovery. And CM Punk is going to show up on Monday Night Raw next week in Chicago, in Punk's hometown. So a video package was shown of Punk working out and, of his recovery. And it was announced that Punk will be at WrestleMania. So he will be there. So very glad that Punk is going to be on Monday Night Raw next week. And then we had Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre ended up coming out. He was halfway towards the ring. And Seth Rollins then came out. Seth came out dancing. Everybody in the crowd was doing whoa. McIntyre ended up stopping in his tracks. Seth walked to the ring ahead of McIntyre. Seth was in the ring dancing around. McIntyre slowly got into the ring. McIntyre stood in the corner as Seth looked at him. Seth got on the mic. He ended up welcoming everyone to Monday Night Rollins. He ended up telling McIntyre that he is sorry and that he didn't even see him. He was too busy soaking up the spotlight. So McIntyre was like, oh, here we go, get it out of your system. So McIntyre ended up telling Rollins after WrestleMania, the spotlight is all his. Seth ended up saying that he doesn't like McIntyre. He thinks McIntyre is stupid. But he came out to admit one thing that McIntyre said, which is correct. Seth ended up saying that they always say the first step on the road to recovery is the hardest. He ended up asking them to bear with him. So Seth then raised his hand. He ended up saying, my name is Seth frickin' Rollins, and I'm a spotlight junkie. So the fans were chanting spotlight junkie. McIntyre ended up saying that everything is a joke to him, to Seth. He ended up telling Seth that he has become a parody of himself, but he doesn't care. He ended up saying that he tried to reason with Rollins, and that he just cares about their match and the World Heavyweight Championship. He ended up saying that the punchline is, when he beat Seth for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania, and then he got interrupted by the fans chanting CM Punk. So McIntyre was like, yeah, I know that he will be here next week. He ended up saying that he would never show up in Raleigh. So McIntyre ended up telling Punk that they are booing him. So Rollins ended up cutting McIntyre off. He ended up saying that this is not a joke. Rollins ended up saying that when he said he was a spotlight junkie, it was not a joke. He ended up saying that he has been doing this for 20 years, just like McIntyre. And when he comes through that curtain, that is his fix. And it gets better every time. Rollins ended up saying that when he comes down, he lays it all on the line. And that it gets better every single time. He wants to say that when the fans sing his song, that is his fix. He ended up saying that he wants the spotlight as bright as it can be. Rollins ended up telling McIntyre that he knows he has been busy online. Night 1 at WrestleMania, he will take the biggest star in Hollywood and his side bitch, and on night 2, the biggest light possible will be shining down on them and the World Heavyweight Championship. So McIntyre was like, all hail our savior. He kept saying this is what he wants. He wants the passion that he had him all the way to the finish. He kept saying that he did it for 20 years. They gave their lives to this business. He kept saying that the title is the Workhorse Championship. And he had him until he mentioned The Rock. He kept asking why The Rock has to be the reason they are getting the spotlight, and not because of them. So he kept saying all he cares about is Seth makes it to WrestleMania. McIntyre ended up saying that if Seth can't walk, he will carry him down, and that he is going to get the moment he has earned. So Seth ended up telling McIntyre, there it is. He ended up saying that McIntyre wants to call him a spotlight junkie, but McIntyre wants it just as bad as he does, and that he's an addict too. He ended up saying that he's been beginning for it for the last 4 years, because he won the WrestleMania main event in an empty warehouse. Of course, that was during the whole, pandemic. He ended up saying that they keep hearing about how that wasn't good enough, and how he deserves better or more. He ended up saying that when everyone came back, McIntyre fumbled the ball. He ended up saying that is the difference between them. Rollins ended up saying that when the lights are the brightest, he shines. And at WrestleMania, the lights will be as bright as they have ever been. He ended up saying McIntyre is going to find out he is not as good as he thinks he is. So Seth then dropped the mic and left the ring. But overall, I thought this was a solid segment between McIntyre and Rollins here. So they were trading shots, on the mic back and forth to each other. McIntyre, he is, good as he's ever been here. And then we had the New Day. We had Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston versus the Alpha Academy, Otis and Akira Tozawa. Anybody seen Otis's, Otis's hairdo during this match? Pretty cool. But this was an okay match here. We had Xavier Woods and Otis start off the match. Otis delivered a shoulder tackle to Woods. Akira Tozawa ended up tagging in. Woods ended up delivering a kick to Tozawa. Woods then locked in an armbar on Tozawa. Kofi Woods then tagged in. Tozawa delivered a kick onto both Woods and Kofi. Tozawa then delivered a Hurricanrana to Kofi. And then Kofi went to the outside. Tozawa went to the ropes. And he pinned a suicide dive onto both the New Day. And then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, Otis and Kofi were tagged in. Otis delivered a clothesline onto Xavier Woods, who got into the ring. Kofi ended up jumping off the second rope. Otis caught Kofi and slammed him. Otis then delivered the Caterpillar elbow drop onto Kofi. He ended up going for the cover, and Kofi ended up kicking out. So, at the end of the match, we had Tozawa end up going for her Hurricanrana on Xavier Woods. He ended up catching Woods with a sit-down powerbomb. Woods climbed the top rope. He walked the ropes, and he pinned Tozawa with the elbow drop. He ended up going for the cover, and there you go. The New Day ended up winning the match. Overall, this was an okay match. The New Day moves into the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania, joining, DIY, and also, the Judgment Day, Balor and Priest, and also AwesomeTruth. And then we had Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins backstage. Seth looked at Cody. He ended up saying, one-on-one. Cody ended up telling him, one-on-one. And that was basically that. And then we went backstage and we saw Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was walking. Liv Morgan ended up coming up to her. Liv Morgan ended up wishing Becky luck in her match against Nia Jax in the last women's standing match. And she ended up promising Becky that she won't get involved. So there you go. That was that. Also, I forgot to mention Becky Lynch ended up cutting a promo on Nia Jax before the match, saying that she's going to be the last woman standing. Main event: Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax, last woman standing match. And this was just a meh main event here. Did not pick up until the last, portions of the match. So the match was underway. Becky delivered a drop kick to Nia Jax. She climbed the top rope, ended up hitting Nia with another drop kick, and Nia ended up falling to the outside. Becky delivered a baseball slide, which was followed by a forearm to Nia's face. Becky ended up going for another forearm, but Nia ended up moving out of the way. Nia ended up getting Becky on her shoulders and slammed her into the ring post and into the barricade. And then Monday Night Raw went to the commercial as the ref began to count, Becky down. And as Monday Night Raw came back from the commercial, we had Becky end up grabbing a table from under the ring. Nia ended up hitting Becky from behind and threw her into the ring. Nia began to place the table at ringside, but the table ended up, collapsing. Nia Jax couldn't even get the table to stand. So the table just kept, going down. Yeah, they can't even set up a table. So Nia Jax ended up throwing steel chairs into the ring. She got into the ring. Becky ended up hitting Nia with a steel chair. She ended up going for the manhandle slam, but Nia ended up delivering an elbow to Becky's face. She then delivered a Samoan drop to Becky onto the chairs. So the ref began to count, Becky down, but Becky ended up getting to her feet as the ref counted to 7. Nia then lifted Becky up, but Becky locked in the sleeper on Nia, and she then ended up hitting Nia with a running bulldog onto a chair. The ref began to count, but Nia ended up getting up at 8. Becky then ended up climbing the top rope. She ended up jumping, but Nia ended up hitting Becky with a chair. Nia ended up hitting Becky with a chair across the back. She then got out of the ring. Nia then retreated 2 kendo sticks from under the ring. She threw the kendo sticks in the ring. Nia ended up hitting Becky with a kendo stick across her back. Nia then body slammed Becky onto the chairs once again, and then she delivered a leg drop. Nia ended up hitting Becky with a chair. She ended up placing the chair on top of Becky, and she had Sin on the chair. All Nia's weight dropped onto the chair, choking Becky. So Becky ended up grabbing a kendo stick. She ended up hitting Nia with it from behind. Nia then ended up falling to the outside. So Nia ended up grabbing the ring steps. She ended up hitting Becky with the steel steps across Becky's face. She placed Becky on the ring apron. She ended up going for the leg drop, but Becky moved out of the way. Of course, Nia, doing her, my ho. Remember that? I think that Nia just likes to do that on purpose. When somebody moves out of the way on the ring apron, she just slams herself down. We all can't forget, my ho! So Becky ended up grabbing Nia, ended up hitting her with a DDT on the ring steps. The ref ended up counting to 7, but Nia ended up getting to her feet. Becky then grabbed the table from under the ring, and then Monday Night Raw went to commercial. Then when Monday Night Raw came back from its final commercial, we saw Nia end up placing Becky on the table. She began to climb the ladder that was at ringside. Becky then grabbed a fire extinguisher and blew the smoke into Nia's face. So we had Becky end up getting into the ring. There was a table that was placed in the corner. Becky ended up running towards Nia, but Nia ended up catching Becky, ended up delivering a Samoan drop to Becky through the table. Nia then dragged Becky and placed her in the corner, and she ended up hitting Nia ended up hitting Becky with the Annihilator. So the ref started counting. The ref counted 9. Becky ended up rolling to the outside and laying on her feet. So Nia ended up grabbing Becky. She ended up placing Becky on her shoulders. She ended up getting on the ring apron. Becky then started delivering some elbows. Both of them stood on the ring apron. Becky then ended up hitting Nia with the manhandle slam through the table on the outside. So the ref was counting. The ref counted to 9. Nia ended up getting to her feet. Becky then climbed the ladder. Nia was stumbling onto the commentary table. Becky then ended up dropping a leg drop to Nia through the table, off the ladder, through the commentary table. So the ref counted to 9. Becky got to her feet. The ref then counted 10. Nia was down, so there you go. Becky Lynch ended up being the last woman standing. Post-match, Rhea Ripley came out. So Rhea then got into the ring. Her and Becky ended up going face-to-face, exchanging words to each other. And that was how Monday Night Raw went off the air. Overall, this was a very meh last woman standing match. Nobody asked for a rematch between Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. Nobody wanted to see it. But overall, it was just meh, in my opinion. But overall, Monday Night Raw, decent show it was tonight. It was a much better show than last week's. But anyways, that's it for the Monday Night Raw review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. We'll see you all Wednesday night.